Good evening and welcome to the BDF Show. My guest tonight was supposed to be Donna the Hitchhiking Bones, but she hasn't arrived in. We'll just see if she comes in anytime during the show. Yeah, she's running late, just waiting for people to show up in the chat too to see if we can get something going. Hey Tina, waiting for Dawn to come in. She's running a little late. So if you want to chat with me through the chat while we're waiting for Dawn, you can go ahead and do that. This is a slow stream tonight. Got any questions for me? She'll be in 10 minutes. So let me see about. Look, Shar.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool, Keith. There we go.
Would you believe it's been 2 years.
Awesome, Keith. Say welcome to Disney World.
Welcome to Disney World.
This is our room.
We have to be quiet.
Oh, that's right. This is our really cool room. That's the Murphy bed. Look at that. There's Goofy. Or no, who is that? Pluto?
Pluto.
This is our room. Really nice, actually. Very bright, too. Lots of bright lights. Say hi. There's a little bathroom. We finally made it here. It's like 4 in the morning, right, Keith?
Right.
Oh my gosh, we got a flight canceled, then we got a new flight and everything. But we're at Disney Pop Century Resort and we're about to get to bed here. There's Keith's crown that he got for his first flight on Southwest Airlines.
And I got my wings.
He got his wings today for his first flight, so that's awesome. We finally made it to Disney World. Yay! Keith, look, Keith's name's up there. It says goodbye, Keith. Oh, goodbye, Charlene. Look, there's our names. Goodbye, Charlene. Where's Brendan and Coral?
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Not even showing.
Goodbye. Oh, that was cool.
How did you get that to happen?
Our magic band.
Oh.
And it's Keith's birthday still. That's why.
Your magic band.
Oh, it's a floating feather.
Darn well.
Woo!
That's my favorite scene.
I love it.
Oh, is that from, like, what's her name? When he has to write, and when he writes, it touches
Oh,
his
yeah.
hand?
Oh, there it goes. It's going, Keith.
So, Pam, is that
Nice.
when he's writing and it's writing in his hand, that scene? No, not. Oh.
Good job, Keith.
Well, happy birthday! Did you just get your wand?
Excuse me.
I just hit the big 6
Oh, geez Louise.
I
Excellent.
got Dumbledore.
Does he know? Are you going to give it back to him or is he letting you borrow it?
Are you guys trying to?
Actually, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. This sounds like very dark. Very dark. Just go back to happiness and sunshine. So get personal shirt. Yeah, so what spells have you been practicing?
Are you guys after a picture on the side?
That's a good one, isn't it?
When I turn on the light on the side.
Oh, you got Lumos down. Okay.
Evan, there's a part you can get on. Come on.
Piggyback ball out and we go anywhere. And then I got water for me. Somebody got squirted.
Are you the one that did this fountain right here? That wasn't working earlier. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yay! Good job,
Sit
Keith.
in front of us.
That was
Come a
great.
little closer right here, mate. He's sleepy right now. He might wake up in a little bit. but
Oh,
I'm not
he's
sure.
sleeping.
If he comes round, just listen for him and come round.
Have you heard from Harry Potter lately?
No, he won't return my owl. I'm trying to get an autograph, but I can't do it. Hey guys, would you mind giving us 1 moment? We're about to get a picture here. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Look. Why is it taking so long? Hold on. I took a wrong picture. Smile.
Still waiting for Dawn. Should be about any time now. Hey Don, we're already in the Don's here.
Can you hear me okay, Keith?
Yeah.
All right.
The stream's already
apologize for-
going.
Well, I'm glad you started. I'm glad you went ahead and started. I have, it's kind of been one of those days, celebrating Father's Day.
Yeah.
And,
I was playing a few of my videos while waiting.
Oh, super, super. Well, I hope you've had a nice day.
Yeah. Well, the DAS doesn't cover my disability anymore.
Really, Keith? Okay, now we have been talking, a little bit about that. Let me adjust my volume here a little bit. We've been talking about that too. And they changed it up. So did you go through the interview process again, or how did that affect you, Keith?
I won't be going until about February 2027.
Yeah. Well, are you gonna go? Well, of course, it could change by then, right?
Right, but we decided instead of trying to go for the DAS is to just get on the big like Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios get the Genie Plus.
Right.
And also like on Flight of Passage get Lightning Lane.
Well, that's of course that's a an option. We did it too, Keith. We just got back from from a family vacation with our whole family. The only person missing was our youngest son, Adam, and so we had all the grandkids, all the kids. It was a lot of fun. But we went ahead and bought Genie Plus. I hate that it's so expensive anymore. I don't care for it, but we went ahead and bought it since the family was there because we had all the grandkids with us. Small kids, it's hard to have them in the line and waiting in line without it. And we did have a good day. Now we bought it for Magic Kingdom and Epcot. We bought it on our Magic Kingdom.
I think what it sounds like is Disney decided to start it from scratch again, but started with one thing at a time, like autism on the spectrum.
Could be, could be, and they may, add some things back, Keith. But as time goes on, they may add a few things back and make it a little more inclusive. But I know it's going to be a problem for a lot of people. The sad thing about it is, Keith, people who have just abused the system, who have just bought, who got the DAS pass to keep from having to buy Genie Plus or whatever. And it's just a shame.
Yeah.
And I know that there are people who have done that. Now, do you know anything about Universal's DAS pass? Their system is a little bit different from Disney's.
No,
right?
I don't.
Okay. So you didn't use that when y'all went into Universal?
Well, we'll probably get something similar to the Genie Plus over there in 2032.
Yeah, they have something. I mean, they have something similar. So,
Yeah.
But their system is, you go through an interview with like a third party screening company, I guess, that that asks you medical questions and what have you, and then gives you the thumbs up or the thumbs down with Universal. Now, I will say, I know that it's a dilemma for Disney. They're kind of between a rock and a hard place, Keith, because
I know.
they understand that there were people, unfortunately, unethical people who were, who just got the DAS pass because it was easy to get, and they were just overwhelmed. Now, I'm sure that there were more people who did that because they didn't want to pay for Disney Plus or for GD Plus. But I think it's terrible. I mean, I think, it puts people who really need the DAS pass in, it's not fair to them. It's infringing on a system that is meant for people who genuinely cannot wait in those long lines. I think it's horribly unethical.
Mama Mouse couldn't stand in the line too well.
Right.
Mama Mouse from Myers and the Mouse.
Yeah. And she has pretty extreme she has pretty extreme issues. And of course Joey of It's Joey's World.
You're right.
So it's put people in quite a predicament who actually do need it. Have you looked into the requirements? I know there's an interview involved. You have to apply for it before you go to the park, and there's an interview involved, and then but all that has to be done before you go in.
Right.
So.
But
it's
like I said, I'm not going to bother with that and just go with Genie Plus.
Yeah.
Because
I
don't want to risk getting banned.
Well, it's a situation where, I mean, you could apply, Keith, go through the application and the interview process and just see, if you can still get it. But anyway, yeah, it's I know there's been a lot of upheaval because of it. And I think it's a shame that people who, it really angers me that people who have no business having it, just go for it because they don't want to pay for Genie Plus and, they don't want to wait in those lines.
Right.
Will abuse a system that's meant for disabled people. So, hey, Tina. But now you have a when is your next trip planned, Keith?
For Walt Disney World, the second half of February of 2027. It'll still be warm enough for shorts, but not as hot as my birthday.
Right. That's ooh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, goodness gracious. Keith, that's your birthday is in the hot part of the year, that's for sure.
Yeah. And besides that, since it's about the part of the time that's least busiest, it means Genie Plus will be cheapest.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a good time of year to go.
It might be where all the rides will practically be walk on, even though they may say there's a 15 to 45-minute wait time.
Well, you know, the thing is, Keith, it's hard to predict anymore. You know, the crowd levels are just hard to predict. Used to, you know, January, February, September, October, and even into November were kind of downtimes. Now I'm talking, you know, before COVID, obviously. But
which are the downtimes again?
Well, before COVID, you had January, February, and then the fall months were, you know, had lighter crowds. Of course, Disney has added a lot of the festivals and things at Epcot, and extended Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and so the crowds are heavier. But it's just anymore after COVID, it's just hard to predict when you might get those lighter crowds.
Yeah.
But the temperature, that's something, you know, that's going to be better for you.
You're right. And another thing, Central Florida Tourism Oversight District approved of additional hotel rooms for Walt Disney World and a fifth gate.
Yeah, I think they've got enough hotels. I think they really need to spend money in the parks. The fifth gate, I don't know. They may do that at some point, but as slow as they've moved on other projects in the past few years, I'm not holding my breath on that.
Right.
They're worried about Epic Universe coming, Keith.
Yeah, Epic Universe is Universal's third gate.
Yeah, it's
and
coming.
You don't know. Universal may add 2 more gates by the time of 2030.
Well, you know, the way Universal is moving, Keith, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, they're putting a park. Universal is putting a park out here in Texas, in Frisco. It's going to be.
It's just north of Dallas.
It is. And that's going to be really interesting. I personally think it's kind of a trial run for them to see how it goes. This park, from what we've seen, is going to be geared toward younger kids. There's a
new theme park that's going to be opening up in Bonner Springs, Kansas, near Kansas City.
Oh, really?
It's a Mattel Adventureland. The attractions are based on Mattel toys.
Oh my, that sounds. There's
like Barbie. There's Hot Wheels.
Wow. Now I hadn't heard about that, Keith. When was that announcement made?
It was made about a few months ago, and it's scheduled to open in 2026, and it's supposed to be open all year round.
Okay. And you said in Kansas?
Yeah, in Bonner Springs.
Bonner Springs. Now, what's the weather like in Bonner Springs year round?
Pretty much like about Topeka. It's about hot this time of the year, and it can get real cold in the wintertime.
Yeah. Now, do they get snow?
They can get snow.
That's interesting. Normally,
and,
you know, these.
And we do have tornado watches and warnings at times.
Yeah, that's Kansas. So that's interesting. What company is building that? Well, as you said, Mattel. Is it the Mattel Corporation, or is it another
I don't
group
know.
that's going in? That would be interesting to find out.
And then down by just northeast of Tulsa, there's a theme park being created by former Disney Imagineers.
I've heard about that one.
And it's off of the old Route 66.
I think all of these new parks that are going in, Keith, are, competition is good for the consumer. When there's competition, I think Universal's really, challenging Disney. Disney has kind of fallen off in the last couple of years and done some disappointing things for guests. It's just so ridiculously expensive. And I think, Universal is kind of stepping up to the plate here. And
Right.
I think I'm really excited about Epic Universe. How about you?
Yeah. I like the best I like is Harry Potter.
Yeah. The Ministry of Magic. I am really excited about that one.
And talking about Harry Potter, I'll bring up this one video again.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, I'll start with Stan Shunpike.
Well, happy birthday! Did you just get your wand?
Excuse me.
I just hit the big 6
Oh, geez Louise. Excellent.
I got Dumbledore.
Does he know? Are you going to give it back to him, or is he letting you borrow it?
Are you guys trying to?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know this.
I just told him that.
Let's go back to happiness and sunshine.
Sorry, this
This is great.
So what spells have you been practicing?
Are you guys after a picture on the side?
That's a good one, isn't it?
When I turn on the light on the side.
Oh, you got Lumos down, okay.
Evan, there's a part you can get on. Come on.
Well, I thought I got
Are you
Loomis
the one
down,
that
but-
did this fountain right here? That wasn't working earlier. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Yay! Good job,
it.
Keith.
In front of us.
That was
Come a
great.
little closer right here, mate. He's sleepy right now. He might wake up in a little bit. but I'm
Oh,
not
he's
sure.
sleeping.
If he comes round, just listen for him and come round.
Have you heard from Harry Potter lately?
No, he won't return my owl. I'm trying to get an autograph, but I can't do it. Hey guys, would you mind giving us 1 moment? We're about to get a picture here. Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
I could have got
that is-
picture. I could have got picture if I would have paid for the picture thing ahead of time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, that is great.
And there's another one that I wanted to show you. It's done in Diagon Alley.
Oh, please do.
Oh, it's a floating feather.
Unreal.
Woo!
My favorite scene.
I
That's
love
Guardian
it.
Leviosa.
Oh, is that from like what's her name? He has to write, and when he writes, it cuts
Oh,
in his
yeah.
hand.
Which came out to help me.
Oh, there it goes. It's going, Keith.
Oh, Pam, is that
Nice.
when he's writing and it's writing in his hand? That scene? No, not.
Good job, Keith.
Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. These are great shorts. Okay. Now, did Char record those for you?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah. That's so much fun. I'm really excited about the Ministry of Magic and Epic Universe. I think the other lands, there's going to be How to Train Your Dragon. There'll be Dark World. There's Nintendo Land, which will be really cool. But I'm most excited about the Ministry of Magic, aren't you?
It's me. I'm a Mario.
Yeah. William is really excited about that one. He's really excited about that one. It's gonna be cool.
Now, if they would have something with Warner Brothers character, yeah, what's up, Doc?
I would love that. I know Universal doesn't own the rights to it, but I would absolutely love that. I think it's gonna be great, Keith. I really do.
Yeah.
I think Universal is really putting. I think we can. I think they're going to give us their best stuff. I think they're really going to give it, their best shot with this. It being their third gate, they're going to want to, impress us. And I'll tell you, the other two Harry Potter lands, the other two gates, Islands of Adventure and Universal are amazing. So I'm expecting big things out of this new park.
And I just turned 62 on the 10th. And
happy birthday, belated.
I'm eligible to move into the apartment complex where my mom lives.
Oh, I see.
The apartment complex where I'm at and the one that she's at has the same manager.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You think you'll be doing that, Keith?
Yeah, I got the wheels rolling.
Oh, okay.
But just in case if I don't get it before October, I've got the recertification for here started too.
Okay. Well, it probably helps that the same. Yeah,
it's on the head.
The same. Gotcha. So, and it probably helps that the same person owns both complexes. So,
well, there's it's two different nonprofit organizations own them, but it's one it's the same management company that runs it.
I see. Mm-hmm. I see. Well, what do you think about Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
I heard they had some breakdowns.
Yeah, we heard about those too. They have had a lot of breakdowns. While I was there, Keith, they were doing cast member previews and some other special people previews. And I was sitting at Steakhouse 71, and there was a couple who came in and told one of the cast members that they were there that day. I had taken a break from the parks and gone to get me a hamburger at Steakhouse 71. And they came in and said that they had been waiting. That was by this time, it was probably about 1:30 in the afternoon. They had been there all day trying to get a preview on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And they got there, the time they told them to get there. And, they waited a couple hours and they said, we'll get you back in as soon as we can. The ride went down. So they went over to the Poly and, sat over there for a while. Then they went back into Magic Kingdom and still didn't, the ride still didn't come up. So they sat there at Steakhouse 71 for a little while. And when they left, I said, well, good luck. I hope you get to ride it today. And they said they had gotten a notification that it was down and that they wouldn't get to ride it that day at all, that it was not going to come back up. So, they've had problems with it. Supposedly they're trying to, this is what I heard. They're trying to improve the logs so that they don't bang into each other. They tried to improve that ride system so that the logs don't hit each other, which to me never was, that big a deal. But they're also having some problems with like the screens. Had some friends who did the annual pass holder preview, and they said a couple of the screens were down. So they've got a little work to do.
Yeah. In 2022, when I was there, Splash Mountain was down, and it rained on my birthday. So they had to run the people mover without people to get those to dry off. Right. So
yeah. Splash, and Splash Mountain, they're for I don't know, the last 2 or 3 years that Splash Mountain was still open, they really neglected it. They didn't do any upkeep. A lot of the animatronics that were not working. I mean, there was a lot that that did not work in Splash Mountain by the time they finally closed it, just because they weren't gonna fix it. I think. So it needed some TLC, but I'm sure they'll get Tiana's going. Now that it's now the people who've ridden it have said that they've really enjoyed it. So there have been some other people that said the animatronics are great, but there's no story. That's the main complaint that I've heard, is that there's not a good strong story.
Right.
So I guess we'll see.
And then another thing, today they're shutting down Test Track for refurbishment after today.
Gonna change that up. They sure are. Gonna change that up. And we did not get to ride Test Track when we were there. It was just one that we didn't get the girls on. I really would love to have gotten them on, but it'll still be there. I am okay with them redoing Test Track. I think it Test Track is one that I think can use a refurb, so we'll see. And also the other one that's down that the girls didn't get to ride this time around is Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
So
how many days do you recommend for Magic Kingdom?
Ooh, well, I mean, you could pretty well, if you buy Genie Plus, you can do Magic Kingdom in a day. Now, I like to have 2 days for Magic Kingdom, and if we schedule like a 10-day trip, we like to start in Magic Kingdom and end in Magic Kingdom.
That's what I like the idea too.
Yeah.
And then how about Hollywood Studios?
Well, I mean, if you're there for 7 days, 10 days, we like 10-day trips because that gives you some rest time. You can have some down days.
There's 4 parks, so
right. Yeah. So you're not so tired. You have some days in between park days.
Hollywood Studios,
one for every park. 1 day at least for every park.
Okay. 2 days for Magic Kingdom, and then 1 for the others. Hollywood Studio might have to get by with 2.
I love Hollywood Studios, Keith. Hollywood Studios. Now, my favorite park is Magic Kingdom, but I tell you, I could do. There was a time before they built Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land when people, said that Hollywood Studios was a half-day park, and for us, it was never a half-day park. We always spent a full day, and of course now, that they've expanded it. It's definitely not a half-day park. So
Animal Kingdom, it seems like it don't take long to go through that.
Well, it kind of depends. Now that's one thing. I still hear a lot of people say that Animal Kingdom is a half-day park, but I'll tell you, we by the time we get everything done and kind of do the things that we want to do, make it over to because you've got Pandora, and by the time we ride the rides, go over to to Everest, do the bird show, a Festival of Lion King, walk the gorilla trail and go see the tigers. It's pretty much, and then of course there's the train over to Rafiki's Planet Watch. So by the time we do, that's a pretty full day, and Animal Kingdom generally closes, 7 p.m. or so. It doesn't stay open as late as the other parks. So
Epcot, I would say Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot should have two days to each of them.
I think that would be super,
And
especially
then Animal Kingdom, you can get by with one day.
yeah, I could go with that. I could go with that.
Now,
Epcot,
that's 7 days.
Epcot is so big, you know.
Yeah.
Epcot is so big that
You got one section of the Epcot that has to do with the future world, and then you have the World Showcase.
Right. Now before they shut down Future World, with all the walls and started redoing it, we felt like that Future World, you could spend one day in Future World and one day in World Showcase in order to cover, everything well.
Okay.
Now that they are changing that up, and they're, that they just opened Communicore Hall, which doesn't look like much to me. I'm not sure what they're doing in that space. That's a really, really big space, but they don't have anything in it. I mean, you could get snacks there.
Yeah.
I confess I have not watched a live stream in there, but I don't know what that space is, for really.
Yeah.
I do think they did a good job with Moana Journey of Water. I would rather have seen that at Animal Kingdom. I don't think it belongs at Epcot, but and then of course the new Walt Disney statue and that whole area there. I thought they did a nice job.
Have your picture taken sitting next to Walt.
Yeah. That statue is pretty great, I'll have to say.
It's called the Dreamer. It's called the Dreamer.
It's pretty great. It's very well done. The expression on his face, Keith, is really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah. Now I will have to say I do like. Oh well, my mind just went blank. The fireworks show, the new fireworks show.
Yeah.
And my mind just went totally blank. Help me out in the chat, guys. That replaced Harmonious. Wow. My mind just totally went blank.
Let's see, I'm trying to bring up
Luminous. Now I like it. It took me a couple of times watching it for it to really kind of grow on me, but I like it much better than Harmonious. I like it much better than Harmonious. What do you think about it, Keith? Have you watched it on the live streams?
Harmonious?
No, Luminous, the new one.
Luminous? I haven't seen it.
Oh, you need to watch it. Yeah. Now, when you go back, this is a picture done at Pop Century. Will y'all stay at Pop Century again, do you think?
That's the building that we stayed in, Building 5.
Oh, okay.
That's in the 60 section.
Yeah.
Because I was turning 60.
That is great.
And I was
we
born
were in the
62.
80s. Yeah, we were in the 80s section. Sure were.
The 80s section has Rubik cubes for stairwells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
We had Duncan yo-yos for stairwells.
So cool. I love Pop Century. I really do. Tina, we were talking about Luminous replacing Harmonious. That's what we were talking about. Yeah. Oh, how fun. Seven Dwarfs.
Me and my cousin Shari in the front there.
How fun.
I look serious.
You do. Why do you look so serious, Keith?
Well, my upper teeth is dentures.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you don't want
My
to lose
second
those on a
cousin
run.
Carl and her boyfriend Eddie.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
recognize that tree?
I do. I do. It's amazing. The tree of life, isn't it? Oh, this one's cool. This one's cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful
that was at
picture.
Melbourne there.
Oh, that's beautiful. My goodness. Oh, and another nice one. Very nice. These are great pictures. Wow, the beach. Now we stopped. We went to Pensacola on our way back through, and spent a little time in Pensacola. Oh, how fun! You decorated your window. That is so fun. I love that, Keith.
I got to sleep on the Murphy bed.
Oh, aren't those cool that
Yeah.
fold up, and then they turn into the table? I think that is so cool. Yeah.
This is when we were flying from KCI to Chicago Midway.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah.
There's a flight attendant that I brightened her day up.
Oh, how fun. That is really cool. What airline did y'all fly, Keith?
Southwest.
Southwest. Oh,
They made a crown out of snacks and stirs for me for my birthday. Right there on my hat.
I bet you got some too. Yeah, Tina, we were saying, I think Luminous is
light.
Better than Harmonious, not as good as Illuminations. Yeah.
Look, Shar. That was on my birthday in the middle of the night.
Oh, was it really? Where were y'all headed?
Yeah, it was after it was almost 4 o'clock in the morning. In Eastern time.
Oh,
which would be 3 o'clock in the morning our time.
Oh, what a great video. That's cool. Okay, because y'all were delayed getting into Disney, right?
Yeah, our original direct flight from KCI to Orlando was canceled. So me and Shar flew from KCI with a 2-hour layover at Chicago Midway to Orlando, and her stepson had to fly from KCI to Dallas Love and spent the night in Dallas, and then flew over the next day. And
so what time did y'all check in at Pop Century?
It was sometime between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Golly.
Sherry Awesome Sunset, we let her know, and she let them know that we were going to be late.
Nice. Yeah. Did she do your travel for you? She's so sweet.
Yeah. All we had to do was the airline.
Nice.
Separate.
Very nice. Yeah. It's nice. Using a travel agent is really worth it, Keith. It's their services are free. It does. It absolutely does.
You don't pay any extra for a travel advisor. They get a commission.
Absolutely. And so you might as well, especially since Disney, there's so many moving parts to a Disney vacation, with dining reservations and Genie Plus and, trying to figure out where to stay. And it can get pretty complicated. So using a travel agent, somebody that can, kind of, send you in the right direction, get you the best deal for your money. It's definitely a good deal. Yeah. Right. 100%, Tina. Absolutely. Yeah. Epcot Forever was temporary. Yeah, I never thought about that. That is kind of ironic that Epcot Forever was temporary show, but it was. Yeah.
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 Yeah, they got
Now,
rid of those barges.
and I'm really glad they did. I'm glad they did, because now when you're standing at Walt Disney's statue and you're looking, you can see all the way across the World Showcase Lagoon to the American Experience. There's nothing in the World Showcase Lagoon to block your view anymore. So
Right.
I love it. I love it. It's really a beautiful view. It's gorgeous. The thing is, Keith, with Harmonious, those big, the taco, we call them the taco barges and the Stargate. That show, now I'll have to say this, I did not like the show. I mean, I thought it was lacking as far as the story, but the fireworks themselves were pretty amazing. I mean,
Right.
it was, but even that said, I like Luminous better because it seems like it's better organized, like it's a better organized show.
Yeah.
I really like, I like Luminous. I don't like it as much as I did Illuminations. I don't think anything will ever, replace Illuminations in my mind. But hey, John and Nancy, good to see you.
Hey, John.
We're doing great. How are y'all? But yeah, Illuminations, boy, my husband was, Jeff he just misses Illuminations. He loved Illuminations. And it was a fabulous show, I'll have to say. It was really,
what show do they have down there at Epcot now?
It's called Luminous.
Luminous? Okay.
Luminous. It's called Luminous.
And I'm glad that Magic Kingdom, they brought back Happily Ever After.
Yes, thankfully. Everybody was happy about that, because I don't think anybody really enjoyed the show that they did for the 50th. I don't. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, John and Nancy. Yeah, you guys were with us. Yeah.
The song Happily Ever After is performed by Jordan Fisher and Angie Kielhauer.
They do such a fantastic job with it. I'm really pleased that Disney got the message on that one and brought Happily Ever After back. Now, Keith, did you get to see Happily Ever After while you were there?
No, we've seen the one that they had in that temporarily replaced Happily Ever After, that they replaced back with Happily Ever After.
Yeah, the 50th anniversary show.
Yeah.
I don't like that one nearly as well, and which is, of course, why they brought Happily Ever
Tinkerbell looked kind of big.
You think so?
Yeah. Didn't look like a female. Looked too big for a female.
Oh, well, I don't know. I thought you meant she was too big to be a fairy. Now, that's one thing. The last when we were there, that was heartbreaking for me. When we were there with the grandchildren, it's been a couple of weeks ago now, I saw one of my granddaughters to see Tinkerbell fly, and they got to see Happily Ever After, and it's wonderful. But Tinkerbell did not fly that night because it was too windy. So I really hated. I really hated that they didn't get to see that.
The lady, the Tinkerbells that are female, they can go on the float in the parade, but I think when it comes to having a Tinkerbell flying from the castle that high up on the zip line, I think they have a guy dress up as Tinkerbell.
I don't think so. I don't think so because Tinkerbell has to have a certain look, Keith.
Yeah.
So now, you know, I don't know. Tina's saying, I did not know that. Thank you so much for spoiling the magic for me, Tina. I don't. Yeah, it didn't used to be. It didn't used to
Well, Tinkerbell, that flies, they have to make sure she's really secured
be. Yes. Yes.
because
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty safe. It's got to be pretty safe. Uh,
Tina just said,
Yeah,
yes, it's a man. I
yeah.
thought,
Yeah. You could have kept. I didn't know that. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I've got some thoughts about that. I guess I'll just keep them to myself. It didn't used to be a man. It didn't used to be a man. So.
but my first time ever watching Resort TV One, having that the Happily Ever After, I asked it when I saw Tinkerbell. I asked, "Is that a um um see is that a it's kind of um like a projection. I can't think of the word now.
Hologram.
Yeah, hologram.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said, no, it's a real person.
Yeah, it's always been a real person. We had a friend of ours while she was in college who was almost hired to go on adventures with Tinkerbell, and that would have been, they asked her if she was afraid of heights, and she said no, and they talked about her balance and what have you. Now she didn't actually do it because she was busy with college, but yeah, that would have been part of it. Yeah. I'll confess, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh, really disappointed on that one.
But if Disney would open up a fifth gate, what would you like to see in that?
Now, Keith, wow, that's a big question. I have not really given that much thought.
I like to see something from Cars.
Well, they have, gosh, Cars Land Cars Land is so cool in, doing such a good job with it in Disneyland.
Yeah.
But I almost now, and I would love that. I would totally love that. But I'd really like to see them do something a little bit different at, maybe this fifth gate could have like more than one land. I think Zootopia is a fantastic.
Yes, Zootopia. I like to see that. I like to see Inside Out.
Well, they have Zootopia. They already opened Zootopia at is it Tokyo? I think it's Tokyo. I don't have my book in front of me, or Shanghai. It's either Tokyo or Shanghai. They opened Zootopia, which I think would be just amazing. So it wouldn't even really be like they wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel. They could just copy that one. What else, Keith, comes to mind? What do you think?
Well, I like to see them have mainly just a meet and greet of Inside Out personality characters.
Yeah. Now I've heard that the new movie is good. Have you seen it?
I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Yeah. A lot of people are, I'm sure. I would love to go see it. I've heard that it's good. I've heard that it's good. So yeah, has anybody in the chat seen Inside Out 2 yet? I have not gone to see it at the movie theater. I would love to go see it. I may do that on Half Price Tuesday.
Yeah.
That would be the time for me to. Our movie theater has Half Price Tuesdays, so a lot of times I go on Tuesday to see those. So that might be a good thing to do this coming Tuesday, and then we could talk about it on Tuesday night. But so that would be a good one, Keith.
Yeah.
You could I think you could do a lot with that. A lot of people have also suggested for the expansion that they're talking about behind Big Thunder Mountain. They're talking about maybe a Villain's Land.
That would be cool to even meet Jafar.
Well, the only thing is, Keith, you've got. I don't know that would work in Magic Kingdom because you've got. I mean, it's for kids. I mean, I've got my, and we just went in with my little ones. I have 3 grandchildren under the age of 5, and about to have a 4th. And I don't know. Is it, how would you do that? I mean, is it dark? Is it, a true Villain's Land would be dark.
Right.
Would be, I mean, villains are villains, they're bad guys. So I don't know. I don't know how they could do that without making the villains look like heroes. Does that make sense?
But one thing, you can have a part of the Villain's Land to be a section of descendants where the kids of the villains.
That's true. Could do that. I'm sure they probably would include something like that if they did it. Yeah, I don't know. I heard people say, we want a Villain's Land, we want a Villain's Land, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure what that would look like. How they would do that.
Yeah, and they're supposed to replace one restaurant with Tiana's restaurant.
Right. And I don't, at Disney World, instead of, there's no Frontierland, they have New Orleans Square. And I don't want New Orleans Square at Walt Disney World. I want Frontierland at Walt Disney World. And I'm really concerned that they're just kind of dismantling Frontierland. I think that's the goal. And I don't like that idea at all. Because we have New Orleans Square at Disneyland. So, and the parks don't need to be identical.
And I remember when I went for my 60th, that Magic Kingdom, we went underneath the train station to the west to City Hall to get the DAS. But this next time we'll go underneath to the right and right to the right to buy ear hats.
Oh yeah. And you could get your name put on. You could get your name embroidered on it. Yeah, that'd be great. A lot of people don't realize that that's there, Keith. That's kind of tucked away over to the right.
Just right across the town square from City Hall.
Mm-hmm. It's there. It sure is. So that's a good idea. It's a really good idea. Now, I would
I'd like to get me a goofy ear hat.
I think that would be cool. I think that'd be cool.
That way I can wear my ear hats on my live streams.
That's true. That's true. That's a good idea. Now, one thing I would suggest is that you take one of the Main Street vehicles from Town Square and ride it all the way up Main Street to Cinderella Castle. There's there's the double-decker bus, and there's the Surrey and the fire engine, and they'll pick you up there on the town square, and we've seen people do that, right all the way to Cinderella Castle. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. And the drivers are usually, real talkative and fun. It's really cool. So
Yeah.
y'all do that if you have time.
But some people, they want to go from the south end of Main Street over to Frontierland. Now that they have the train going, just take the train over, and then
Yeah, you can do
then
that.
and then
Yeah.
spend some time over in that area. And then if they want to, they can take the train over to Fantasyland and then spend some time in Fantasyland and Tomorrowland.
Yeah, it can save you some walking. The train can definitely save you some walking. Yeah.
Isn't there like 3 trains going at once?
I'm not sure how many trains are on the tracks at any given
There's only
time.
3 train stations.
So I don't know, Keith. That's a good question. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows how many trains are running at any given time. I would think at least 2. Maybe that's a good question. It's a good question.
Disneyland, one of its trains' name is the CK Holiday. It was named after Cyrus K. Holiday, the founder of the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway.
Oh,
but he also found my hometown, Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, well, that's a connection there for you, Keith. That's cool. That is a cool connection. I love that.
And besides, when Walt Disney moved from Kansas City to LA, he rode the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe passenger train, which it had to go through my hometown at that time.
Oh, how fun. Man, that is cool. That is good. Now, Keith, would you ever want to do a trip to Disneyland?
Not with what's going on in California, because I'm concerned about my safety.
That's fair.
Because there's a lot of homeless encampments, and
that's true.
And the person to get the blame for that is Gavin Newsom, the governor.
Yes, he's not managing the state very well. That's for sure. He's not protecting California citizens very well.
I doubt he'll ever get enough vote for president.
Well, he has not done a very good job in California. I know a lot of people have moved.
I think Ron DeSantis did a real good job with Florida, especially just recently abolished squatters' rights, and not only to abolish it, but to criminalize it.
Right. Yeah. Now, I was glad to see that too, Keith. Just to think that somebody, could come into your house and just walk into your house and stay there with you, and you're not able to throw them out is bizarre. That's just crazy. So
everybody has to pay rent when they're renting. Pay rent or pay mortgage.
Yeah, that was a good thing. I agree.
Yeah, person that paying mortgage, they pay it until it's paid off.
Right.
Tina just agreed with us.
Now. Well, I hope Disneyland is special, Keith. I hope at some point that you get a chance to go to Disneyland and California Adventure. It's very different than Walt Disney World. It's a lot smaller.
I kind of doubt if I'll ever make it that way. I have a better chance making it to Orlando in 2027 and 2032.
Yeah. Well, Orlando you have 4 parks. That's huge, plus all the resorts and everything. So, we consider Walt Disney World to be our home resort too. So, yeah, we just always have, because, I grew up in Tennessee. And so when we were going to go, to one of the parks, we always went to Florida. We always went south to Florida. So, and, if you're going to spend the money, you're going to spend that much money on a vacation, Walt Disney World is a lot bigger and has, more parks to offer. So
Yeah.
that's something
I
else
think
to
a
look
family
into.
of 4 for about 7 days is somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000.
Yeah, depending on where you stay.
Right.
It's
Depending on, and besides that, the more days of park tickets per person, the cheaper it get. Well, you get a discount for additional days.
Yeah, the cost has just gone out of sight, Keith. It really has. It's and it's disappointing. It's really, because it's just out of sight. It's ridiculous. It's just pretty much out of sight. But I mean, there's still
Disney souvenirs are worth it, especially whether you buy it in the parks or buy from Shop Disney.
I have a ton of stuff. I've got a lot of Disney, a lot of Disney merch. So
I want to get lightsabers, but instead of flying them on the plane with me, I'd much rather just go ahead and order them from Shop Disney, and then they're like about $250 each.
Right.
That is if you get the hilt and the blade and the case, storage case.
Now, would you get a certain characters?
I like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And there's one that's got the try, and I like that, but it's a bad guys. I think.
That's Kylo Ren. And it's red. It's a Sith. Yeah, it's a Sith. So I would like to have Ahsoka's lightsaber.
Yeah, I like Ahsoka's. She's got 2 of them.
She does. She's always used 2. So
she's cool.
She is. She really is. They make some really cool lightsabers. They really do. I think it would be neat to have Obi-Wan Kenobi's.
I like to get Obi-Wan Kenobi's also, and probably Darth Vader's.
Yeah, he's
one. Darth Vader is actually my favorite of the Star Wars villains.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. He's amazing. He really is.
But
that would be fun. So you think you'd probably go with Luke Skywalker?
When I watch Star Wars, where Luke Skywalker met Princess Leia, I thought, when I saw them kiss, I thought they didn't realize that they were actually siblings.
Not yet. Not yet. They didn't know. No, they didn't. Yeah, they sure didn't. Gosh, yeah. I think, of course, we're huge Star Wars fans, and we love The Mandalorian. Absolutely love The Mandalorian and what they did with that series. But I also thought that Obi-Wan Kenobi was good, that series.
Yeah.
And also Ahsoka. I enjoyed Ahsoka.
Good thing they didn't get romantic. Which of course, when you've seen when Luke and Leia were born, Luke was born first, and then Leia. So he was a little older than her.
He was the eldest. Yeah. What a great story. I would like to see George Lucas become a little more involved in the Star Wars universe.
There was kind of words around that. They think, at least they think, George Lucas may try to talk to Disney to for him to get more involved in the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I would really like to see that. I think, the Acolyte, the new series, The Acolyte, is not doing very well, and so that may be why he's thinking about, getting back into it a little, into the story building. Now, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni that that did The Mandalorian, and worked on the Clone Wars and Rebels and all that, are fantastic. Those two are really good at it. I think they really get Star Wars. But Kathleen Kennedy and I'll have to confess, I have not watched The Acolyte. Just because, I've watched some previews and watched some people with YouTube channels.
I saw the first two episodes of The Acolyte. They came out the same night. I just watched them the next day, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. Have you watched any more?
Planning on it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's one thing I like about Disney Plus is that you can watch it at a time that you feel like it.
Exactly. More convenient for you.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. I have not watched it yet. I don't know. I might watch it at some point. I don't know. But I'm not real excited about it. There's a lot going on, I think, behind the scenes, and Kathleen Kennedy, the producer, made a lot of comments about that series that were not necessarily good. I didn't think, but I love The Mandalorian.
I love The Mandalorian too.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's really good. And they're going to wrap that one up with a movie, Keith.
Grogu.
Yeah. What an amazing
to call
character.
him Baby Yoda until they told them to call him Grogu.
Yeah. And how popular did he, man, just has been a wildly popular character. So that's been really cool. It's been a lot of fun.
And earlier this year, we lost one actor from The Mandalorian, Carl Weathers, also best known as Apollo Creed in the Rocky movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was tough.
And he also played in The Heat of the Night as Chief Hampton Forbes.
Yeah, he did. He did a lot of good stuff. I wanted to see him in the Mandalorian movie so badly. I just absolutely, women are huge Carl Weathers fans. I was a fan of Carl Weathers back when he played football. He started his career as a professional football player, and I loved him then.
What team was he on?
He played for the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The Oakland.
He started with
the Oakland Raiders, which is now the Vegas Raiders.
The Oakland Raiders, and very young, very early in his career, and then of course when he got the Apollo Creed role, that kind of started his movie career.
Yeah.
So, but wow, what an amazing! I mean, by all accounts, he was just an amazing man. Just a gentleman, an encourager. Did everything to the best of his ability. He was just apparently an amazing man. Yeah. We were huge fans of his.
Yeah. A while back, Oakland lost the Raiders over to first the LA and then over to Vegas.
They did.
And now in 2028, the Oakland A's will become the Las Vegas A's. And,
really?
And when before the Kansas City Royals, when I was born, the Oakland A's was the Kansas City A's.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Until the time they left Kansas City, and then Ewing Kaufman started the Kansas City Royals.
Really? I did not know that. I did not know that history. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah. It's the team's just moving around. I hated to see the Raiders leave Oakland, well, and then, the Rams did the same thing. The Rams,
Oakland and San Francisco's going downhill real bad.
Yeah. It's very sad. Amazing, amazing cities. Just amazing cities.
Gavin Newsom's coming real close to making California the biggest food desert in the United States.
Oh gosh. Yeah. And you know what, Keith? It's really sad because California is an amazing state. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it has snow skiing, it has beaches, it has mountains, it has desert.
The Sierra,
Um,
the Sierra Mountains are in both California and Nevada.
yeah, it's just it's an amazing. It's one of our most beautiful states, and yeah, I hate to see all that's going on. It's just not good. It's just not good. And people are moving out of California. They're leaving California because of it. It's just awful. But
Everything that's wrong is the reason why they're moving.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I would be moving too. I mean, if I lived in California with all that going on, I would be moving too. So yeah. It's a shame, but it is just a gorgeous state, and they're just really ruining it. They're ruining it. So I don't know. I mean, at some point, you know,
Hawaii priced out all their native Hawaiians to the mainland states.
No, I hadn't read anything about that. I know that it's expensive to live in Hawaii because you know everything has to be brought in. You know, obviously because it's an island. I know it's expensive, really expensive to live there. But it is gorgeous.
But I might have misheard about the natives. But the natives are descendants of the Polynesians, like Moana.
Hawaii is absolutely gorgeous. Jeff and I absolutely fell in love with Polynesian culture, and I feel like now the only island that we visited was Oahu, so we didn't. You know, we would love to go back and see some of the other islands at some point. We really would.
Yeah,
it would be great. Hope we can at some point.
Hawaii's expensive to live, but if you save up, you can be able to visit.
Yes. Right. I hope we can. Yeah, I hope Jeff and I can go back at some point. I really do. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
it takes a lot of saving up to try to afford a vacation like that.
It does. It does. That's a big one. That's a big one. I think a lot of people like, you know, they'll take like 3 or 4 years of smaller vacations and then save up, you know, like once every 4 or 5 years, they take a big one like that they save up, and do, you know, smaller things, in the off years. A lot of people do that, especially if you have a family and you have to, you know, because it's more expensive traveling with a larger family.
Yeah. When we try to save up for the next Disney, we're going to do it where get there 2 days before. That way, for the 2 days before checking into Disney, we'll stay in a motel and then take an Uber over to check into the Disney.
That's a good idea. Save a little money.
Yeah.
Save a little money by staying off property. I think that's a great idea, Keith.
Well, it'll be off property for the first 2 days, and then when we go check into Disney motel, Disney hotel.
That's a great idea. Yeah, yeah. Now, are y'all going to do? You think you'll do Pop Century again, or Art of Animation?
Art of Animation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it's just me and my cousin, we're gonna share maybe a Little Mermaid room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You do a suite, yeah. Well, I think that'd be.
We want a room if it's just the two of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the difference in the price, now William and Jillian have stayed at Pop Century and Art of Animation. Art of Animation is a good bit more expensive than Pop Century, and the rooms. I mean, if you're not staying in like a specially themed room, the rooms are pretty much the same. So, William said that they probably wouldn't do Art of Animation again. They just stay at Pop Century because they really like the rooms better. They like the room for the difference in the price. When you're at Pop, you can walk over to Art of Animation and eat over there, and what have you. So William said they would probably just stay at Pop Century and save that money.
Oh, okay. I can let my cousin know.
Yeah. Because they did, but they wanted to stay at Art of Animation, and they did. And William said for the difference in the price, they felt like Pop Century was about the same. So
okay.
So that's something to think about.
And
save a little money there.
It's almost 90 minutes. Well, just about 3 minutes shy of 90 minutes. So, do you have any closing? What's your closing saying on your show?
At the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel, there's always room for one more. So please hurry back.
Have a magical evening and a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Thanks, Keith. Bye-bye.